Boogie2988, aka Steve Williams, is currently undergoing the biggest downfall of his career.
No, I don't! I'll destroy mine all day, and my dad is dead, and my mom is dead. I'll talk about those pieces till they fucking rot.
Yeah, but Chad and Desi aren't dead.
He's on the verge of bankruptcy.
I think my net worth is zero. Once you pull the equity out of the house, get rid of the house debt, sell off all my collectibles, and pay off all my debts, I think that puts me at $0.
And has alienated almost his entire audience through his lies, scams, and manipulative behavior.
Like I told you, I spent the last 2 years getting treated for it. I've been told by my doctor for the last 2 years.
It's fine, Boogie. Just admit it's not on the portal.
It's not on there. I told you this.
I
have to do the verifying test.
Hi, I'm the InternetAnarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be looking at the disturbing downfall of one of YouTube's OG creators, Boogie2988, the man who was once considered the Mr. Rogers of the internet and regularly amazed fans with his down-to-earth and positive personality.
Of my size, regardless of the things that I have endured, inflicted upon myself, and have been inflicted upon me. And they ask me why I can be happy, why I can be soft when the world has tried to make me hard. I think the answer to that question is very simple. And what makes me different from a lot of people that might be in the same predicament or same situations that I've been in is that I've maintained hope.
The majority of the money we make goes into the bank. We do not live very large by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, obviously, I'm large, but...
Boogie, you make me feel human. Thank you for existing. Thank you, Boogie. That was very powerful. You're an inspiration to us all. And you're an awesome human, Boogie. Thanks for making this video. Until he threw it all away in the pursuit of women, fame, and money.
You're on a lot of medicine, Boogie. Is any of those medicines an SSRI?
Go f yourself. I will divulge no more medical information to any of you motherfuckers.
This is, you ain't got to tell me what it is. Like, there's a bevy of medicine.
But Boogie wasn't always the hateable villain that he is today. He's been around since 2006, when YouTube was dominated by homemade vlogs and funny cat videos. At the beginning of his career, Boogie was known as the overweight but lovable nerdy guy, who most people found charming because he openly embraced his flaws and didn't shy away from making fun of himself. For my younger viewers, he was kind of like the queso of early YouTube. When he wasn't playing the over-the-top Fat Francis character, Boogie would engage with his audience by sharing details about his personal life, childhood, and financial situation.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again to the power of the internet. You may not know me as Boogie2988. You may know me as my character Francis, who gets really angry all the time and breaks stuff, but that's okay. I'm just glad you know me at all. A lot of people have asked me to draw my life story, and it's kind of sad, but I'd like to do that for you now.
His advice about money in particular was a breath of fresh air for his subs, who found him relatable and loved how responsible he was with his finances.
I want to remind you that this is a brand new medium that is very, very lucrative. And you could be as successful as me, you could be as successful as some of the top tier YouTubers who are making millions of dollars. You too could be bringing $200,000 or $300,000 a year, like FalsiTube, or sorry, a month, like FalsiTube, and spend it on whatever the hell you want.
This would allow him to slowly grow his channel, Patreon, and unlock a new source of income through Twitch when it launched in 2011.
I mean, that's one. Oh shit! Oh shit!
He was even named 2016's Trending Gamer of the Year.
And the Trending Gamer, the Game Award goes to Boogie2988.
By 2017, Boogie had broken through the 4 million subscribers mark on YouTube and even earned enough money to pay for his weight loss surgery.
Holy moly. So this is going to be a very short video to let you guys know that I'm home from surgery, that everything went well, and tell you a few stories surrounding the experience.
This was a milestone moment for both him and his community, who had supported him unconditionally up until this point. Unfortunately, this surgery would also mark the start of Boogie's downfall. Not long after the surgery, Boogie announced splitting up from his wife through a video titled, "It's True. Wife and I are getting a divorce. Here's what's next." In the video, he explained how in the lead up to surgery, their marriage was already in a rough spot, while admitting that his anxiety disorder was the real problem.
Our marriage was far from perfect. Me and my wife had one major issue that was persistent throughout the entire marriage, and that was my anxiety disorder, my clinically diagnosed PTSD. Man, I probably should never even say this publicly, but I think she'd forgive me, and even if she doesn't, we're divorced now, so I don't have to worry about it. We're in a loop in which my anxiety was so bad that she was kind of walking on eggshells all the time because she was afraid of scaring me, upsetting me, hurting me. And the way she reacted to my anxiety was very frequently with fight or flight. And for her, that mostly meant fight.
His wife had wanted to separate for a long time, but just was waiting for him to get healthier. And once he started losing weight, she felt it was finally the right time to initiate the divorce.
Towards the middle of October, she told me that she was thinking about separating now that I was out of the surgery and now that I was nice and healthy. We talked about it and decided that she should take a break in November, which she did. She was gone for about 3 weeks, and about 2 weeks into that, she called up and said that she had made her decision, that she wanted things to be a more permanent change, and that we should start moving in that direction.
According to Boogie, the divorce was amicable, with both sides agreeing to part ways peacefully. His wife even offered to take less than 50% of his assets.
But one day we're talking about money, and I'm like, what do you want? She's like, I want what's fair.
She said, I want
She's
what's
like, I
fair.
want what's fair. I want enough to where I know I'm going to be taken care of for a good while. That's all I worry about. And I'm like, okay. So she gave me a number, and I'm like, but that's not half. And she's like,
What do you mean it's not half? It's more
It
or
wasn't
less?
half of what we were worth.
It was less.
It was less.
But despite their mutual understanding, the legal system in the US still required Boogie to give her half of everything he owned.
Yeah, that's how it works in Arkansas. And so, like, she's legally entitled to 50%.
At first, Boogie seemed to come to terms with how things played out, accepting the situation for what it was. However, it didn't take long for the cracks to show. Fans who watched his video after the divorce could tell something had shifted. What was once Boogie's wholesome and helpful advice to viewers began to feel like the start of a downward spiral, one that he never truly recovered from. The rambling videos that had once focused on helping his audience now seemed more like a cry for help. Over time, these videos became an outlet for him to seek sympathy for his struggles with depression and anxiety. Despite all of this, Boogie managed to retain much of his audience, who still believed in his potential to bounce back and return to the happy, healthier version of himself. It even seemed like Boogie himself had realized how bad things had gotten, and was ready to put in the effort to revive his channel.
First off, let's say 2018, as we've talked about, was one of the roughest years of my life, and it really showed here on the channel. It shows the content that I produced. Sometimes I was super engaged, sometimes I wasn't. Sometimes the Francis stuff was incredible, sometimes it was miserable. Sometimes I would just I didn't feel like making a video, so I would make a rambling video, and I would just complain and whine and just be miserable. And that's the person I was in 2018.
After posting the last video about his divorce in October 2018, Boogie followed up with another video titled State of the Channel in 2019. In this video, he openly admitted that his storytime rambling videos had turned into a way to gain sympathy, and that the pity party needed to end.
Because sharing who and what I am has been counterproductive in quite a bit in the last year or so. Mostly when it comes to the mental issues, the anxiety, the depression, stuff like that. The reason being is because these days there's a more negative impact about that stuff.
While he seemed enthusiastic about improving his content, it was too late. His subscriber count had already begun to steadily decline, and then another incident occurred that would permanently damage his reputation. During his divorce proceedings, Boogie began dating a woman named Lucy. They met on the controversial dating site Seeking.com, a platform designed to connect sugar daddies with sugar babies, offering companionship or more in exchange for monetary compensation. At first, Boogie denied any involvement in the sugar baby arrangement, claiming, also, treating her nice and being cool to her and being a good, successful, happy person that she could be attracted to also works. It's a lot cheaper too. But he would eventually be outed as a liar when his account on Seeking was uncovered a short while later after this tweet. This discovery forced Boogie to come clean once and for all, using an alt account named Uberwolf on his own subreddit. But the drama didn't end there. About 6 months after the divorce was filed, Lucy released a video sharing her side of the story, which she posted on Boogie's subreddit. According to her, the relationship was a far from pleasant experience, describing him as an asshole.
So I dated a YouTuber, and for his sake, I'm just gonna call him asshole.
She accused him of verbally abusing her whenever she wanted to leave him, and mentioned how he didn't even pay for her services like he was supposed to.
It would turn into an argument every time I tried to leave. Why are you trying to leave me? You know I need somebody right now. Blah, 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 blah. You know, I'd wait for him to finish up doing his work and whatever, and pretty much I was not making any income. I was scraping to get by, to be honest with you. Like, I'd ask him, hey, can I put some money into my bank account so I wouldn't get an overdraft? Okay, well, here's, $20. Cool. So I would do that, and then, I have bills to pay.
In response to this backlash, Boogie decided to clear the air by going on Keemstar's show Drama Alert and presenting his own version of the event.
The only way she can make money is if she's at home doing her cam girl stuff, right? And that you wouldn't let her leave the house. Is that true?
But she didn't live here. She lives at home, where she has her own home.
He claimed that Lucy was his girlfriend and a gold digger, not a sugar baby he hired from Seeking.com.
It sounds like in the video that she's low on money. Has she been asking you for money?
Man, I don't feel comfortable talking about anything, but she's a girl who's always needed a little help from time to time, and I don't know, I don't know what to say about that.
So for those who won't see it on Drama Alert, I'll put it here. Final word on this. We dated 10 weeks. It didn't work out. She had bad feelings about it, which she is entitled to have. Sorry it worked out that way. Nothing but love for her. Go and watch and support her. Keemstar's approach throughout the interview was notably neutral, allowing Boogie to present his narrative with minimal pushback. As a result, some viewers felt this gave Boogie the opportunity to shape the story in his favor, without being thoroughly questioned.
Do you think that maybe she is taking advantage of you being a big YouTuber or whatever?
However, for many, Boogie's continued denial of meeting Lucy through Seeking.com only reinforced doubts about his honesty. While this didn't cause an immediate decline in his channel's popularity, it did lead some fans to view him as an unreliable narrator. That was until another bombshell about Boogie would drop that left him scrambling to defend himself. Just 3 days after Boogie uploaded his State of the Channel in 2019 video, a 5,000-word mega thread was posted on a subreddit by an anonymous user titled "The Hidden Truth Boogie Doesn't Want You to Know. Criticism Mega Thread." It basically called him out for being a hypocrite and the opposite of the nice guy who was pretending to be for his audience. One major criticism was Boogie's disturbing behavior on stream, which contrasted sharply with his YouTube persona. In one specific incident, Boogie's Twitch was being critiqued by a YouTuber, Actual Jake, and his partner. Boogie responded to this by jumping on the call with them and threatening to send his dog to the pound.
I only block people who call me names. And if you can prove to me,
If it's not deleted,
the reason I blocked
block
you
it,
is
but-
that you called me no names this summer, if you can prove to me you showed me no names this summer, I will literally take Sam to the pound. I will literally take him to the pound and find him a new home. I swear.
Please don't do that. Yeah, please don't do that. We love animals too much.
I will find. No, I'm saying I will find him a new home. I will find him. a new home.
keep your dog. Keep your dog, please.
I want you to keep your dog.
The mega thread also highlighted some of Boogie's more troubling statements, including 1. His shocking claim that good things came from the Holocaust.
And so the third book was on the Holocaust. I don't remember the name of it. And so I'm reading the book, and here's something I found fascinating in this book. It's so depressing, this book. But they were talking about the Japanese experiments. I do remember them doing open heart surgeries on people that didn't need open heart surgeries, like some really crazy shit. And so what I found out from this book is a lot of Nazi scientists and doctors were given asylum in the United States in exchange for the knowledge they had possessed. I didn't know that. But if you think about it, a lot of some good came from all of that, in that health science was advanced many, many years.
2. Suggesting that a victim of domestic abuse should be hanged. And 3. Using the threat of to guilt trip his fans into supporting him.
I'm hoping when I get too old, I just get assisted medical suicide rather than go that way than an agonizing death. Yeah, I hear you. I think when the time comes, I'm gonna have no problem pulling the trigger, or once I've fully given up hope, once I'm fully ready to go, once the internet has forgotten about me and you guys you don't need me anymore and I'm not needed around anymore, and if I haven't found a wife and I haven't had kids or something like that, and I haven't had the life that I wanted for myself, and I'm just miserable and alone, I don't think I'll have any problem pulling the trigger.
But while the thread was damning for people who read it, it was still posted to a fairly lesser-known subreddit, r/Sam and Tolkien, and it likely would have never reached the majority of Boogie's fans if he didn't broadcast it to his audience. But Boogie being Boogie, he couldn't resist on going on a rant about the entire subreddit, accusing them of being out to get him for the past 3 years.
This subreddit has been actively attacking me and going through everything I've ever said and ever done on the internet for the last 3 years.
Doing this only fueled his critics further, turning Boogie's once overwhelmingly positive comment section back in 2017 into a wall of hate and criticism. His subscriber count also took a major hit, with Boogie losing over 100,000 subscribers in just 4 months. At this point, unable to handle the mounting criticism, Boogie released a video titled, "Taking a Break, I Give Up, You Guys Win." During the video, he announced that he would be taking a break from YouTube to focus on his mental health.
And I'm really anxious, and I'm really nervous. So I thought I should get away for a little while.
Unfortunately, this only worsened things for his channel, as viewers began to realize that Boogie had lost the passion for creating content, and was struggling to come up with new ideas to grow his audience. Even after returning from his quote mental health break, Boogie's posts on his channel became more sporadic, and his views reflected that, dropping from more than 10 million views per month in January 2018 to just over 2 million views per month in October 2019. And by the start of 2020, his channel, which used to provide some of the most uplifting and wholesome content on YouTube, had devolved into a platform for Boogie to complain and apologize for his life choices. But this didn't seem to matter to him, as his spending habits were still as reckless as ever. Midway through the decline in viewership on his channel, Boogie decided to buy a $100,000 Tesla X. At first, he was ecstatic about buying his dream car, with a tweet reading, "I legit just bought a Tesla. This is my first new car in my lifetime. I am shaking baked, so excited." But soon after, reality set in. Boogie admitted in a tweet reading, "So sitting here, realizing I just bought a car I can barely afford." He then tried to put a positive spin on things by saying, "You would think my anxiety would be going nuts. It isn't. I'm feeling confident that I can work harder every day and use that car and debt as an inspiration to create better content." However, his followers weren't convinced by this newfound optimism, with one replying, "Roundabout way to find confidence, but okay." Later, talking about the story of the purchase on stream, Boogie had a full meltdown, confessing that he couldn't afford the Tesla he had just purchased.
Saying, "Oh my god, I just put myself $100,000 in debt. My car payment's $1,700 a month. That's more money than I make on Twitch. Oh god, that's more money than I make through, that's like half of my YouTube ad revenue this month. Oh god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Why did I do this? Why did I put myself in $100,000 into debt?"
He would then turn to his viewers and, in classic Boogie style, try to manipulate them into helping him pay for his $100,000 Tesla.
So I tweeted out that I was not going to be able to afford this car.
Reddit and Twitter lost their fucking minds. Oh, are you trying to manipulate people into giving you money?
The answer is yes. Give me some money. If you guys want to help me pay for my Tesla, please go ahead and dig deep. I sure would like a free fucking Tesla. Reach down in your pockets and give me $100,000 tonight.
Things then turned from bad to worse when Boogie mentioned that he hadn't even paid off the mortgage on his house yet.
I still owe $200,000 in the house.
All this coming from a man who used to preach about not, quote, living large, and spending most of his money on making better content for his viewers.
The majority of the money we make goes into the bank. We do not live very large by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, obviously, I'm large, but we do not spend a grotesque amount of money.
Meanwhile, Boogie's downfall continued, and over the next year, his Patreon took a significant hit, with his membership numbers halving as he took even longer breaks from both YouTube and Twitch. But Boogie's efforts to ruin his own reputation didn't stop there, as he would end up committing a serious crime in the next few months. Now, Boogie has faced criticism and trolling throughout his career, which has often resulted in heated exchanges with his detractors. His frequent attempts to respond, whether through Twitter, Reddit, or his own videos, usually just ended up making matters worse. One of the most notorious situations occurred between 2020 and early 2021, when Boogie clashed with a disgraced YouTuber, Frank Hassel. Hassel, who had been banned from YouTube for harassing other creators.
Are you trans or something? Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I walk with you?
No, thank you.
Oh, why?
Because I would not like that.
Oh, okay. Where are you going? Are you going somewhere?
Can you please leave me alone?
Huh?
Please leave me alone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Frank blamed Boogie for his ban and publicly declared war against him on Twitter. Boogie initially tried to defuse the situation by privately messaging him, hoping to settle things without further escalation.
If you do plan harm, just leave my friends and my dog out of it. You are welcome to kill me. We should make a video together where I give you a pink belly until your stomach has friction burns. I would be glad to do that as long as you promise you don't mean me or my family any harm. I don't know if you're actually crazy or just pulling some Andy Kaufman shtick, but if it's the latter, I would be glad to participate in. If it's alright, my life is awful enough without your help. So I would appreciate it if you can maybe just let me suffer without it. I get that I am an easy target, but if you have any empathy at all, dude, pick another. I don't. I'm a sociopath. I'm demented and sick.
However, when this didn't work, Keemstar invited both Boogie and Hassel onto Drama Alert to settle their differences on air.
At another YouTuber. Now, I want to explain how we got there, right? There is this YouTuber called Frank Hassel. Frank Hassel makes the type of content where he just goes up to random people on the street with a GoPro on his head and he starts harassing them. Recently, Frank's channel has been banned off of YouTube and he is blaming Boogie2988 for it. He's been saying for months that he is going to catch Boogie in public and harass him in public.
Unfortunately, the interview spiraled out of control. Rather than resolving the conflict, both parties began issuing death threats, with each daring the other to quote, "try it." Unfortunately, I can't actually play the audio due to it containing multiple death threats and abusive language.
I had both of them on for an interview. Quite frankly, Boogie looks bad. He's threatening Frank's life if he shows up. And I didn't want to put that interview out because, you know, I was afraid that people would cause, this interview would cause people to harass and bully Boogie more.
The feud reached its breaking point when on September the 28th, 2020, Frank Hassel took things from the virtual world into the real world. He posted on Twitter that he had arrived in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Boogie's hometown, with the clear intention of confronting him face to face.
Come on, you fucking pussy, what's the deal?
True to his word, Hassel went to Boogie's house later that day, fully prepared for a confrontation. Boogie, feeling threatened, responded by pulling out a firearm and firing a quote warning shot in Hassel's direction.
Where's the gun at, you fat f***? Open fire!
You fat f***. Oh my god. Is this real? Is this guy gonna kill me?
Yes.
This was incredibly dangerous, considering there was a school in Boogie's neighborhood and the bullet could have landed there. As you can imagine, the moment went viral on both YouTube and Twitter, which alerted authorities of the situation. And on the 11th of May 2021, just a few months after the event, the authorities put out a warrant for Boogie's arrest. The following day, Boogie turned himself into the police and was later released on the 1st of June 2021, following processing and bail. While all of this was happening, Boogie's financial situation was only worsening. He was already facing mounting debt, and he now had to dip into his funds to cover the legal fees as well. However, things took an unexpected turn when Boogie posted a video titled "I am rich, how crypto made me rich," where he claimed that a recent cryptocurrency investment had turned his fortunes around. It looked like Boogie's financial troubles were finally over, but as we would later find out, this was only the beginning of a much larger issue. Boogie's gamble in the volatile world of crypto would ultimately dig him into a deeper financial hole. In the "I am rich" video, Boogie explained that he had made a risky bet.
I basically took every dime I had in liquid funds and invested it in a huge gamble.
By investing most of his liquid earnings into crypto, and the gamble had paid off because he had basically doubled his money with the investment.
But I invested pretty much everything I had into cryptocurrency. And I pulled it out a couple of times and I put it back in a couple of times. So I probably didn't do as well as I could have, but I invested all the way back here. And yeah, that's where we currently are with that market. So to say that I doubled my money is an understatement. In fact, I did more than that.
But despite claiming that his financial problems were behind him, Boogie tried to coerce his audience into continuing to support him, even implying that he still needed financial help.
Never feel pressured to get one of those memberships down below. Never feel pressured to subscribe on Twitch. Never feel pressured to make a donation or interact with one of my sponsors. Never feel pressured to buy a t-shirt. But please buy a t-shirt because half of those proceeds go to my friend who made the art for it, Ninja Chris.
But as fate would have it, Boogie's time as a rich crypto man would be short-lived, because just a year ago he would post another video titled "I Need Your Help," in which he'd explain how he lost all the money he had earned from crypto and some of his savings by making a bad investment.
The bad reason is I'm finally in a position where I have to get back to work. And I'm not making any excuses here. You know I spent a tremendous amount of money on dumb things. But the biggest issue is that I had a nice big nest egg. I took some financial advice from a friend, and I'm not pointing fingers necessarily. I took the advice, but I put my money in the crypto market in the wrong section, and I pretty much lost most of everything.
He would then ask his audience to help him keep the lights on through donations and by watching his videos.
So that's why I'm asking for your help today, and it's as simple as two groups of people here I want to talk to. The first of which is fans who just like the content. If you click on videos you like and you watch them to the end and you drop a like and you leave a comment and you share it with friends and you click the notifications, you do the YouTube stuff, you're doing plenty. There's a second group of people who might find themselves able to do a little more, and if you're one of those people, I'm asking for your help today too. Do you like the t-shirts I have? This one's not in the merch lane shop yet, but there's several, and I'm making new designs all the time. And if you like a t-shirt, buy a t-shirt. I make like a $9 profit off of a $25 purchase.
As you can expect, the video was heavily criticized, with several commenters urging their fellow viewers to not give in to Boogie's requests, so that is forced to quote, get a real job like everyone else, with comments reading, as a life pro tip to any youngsters here, never ever donate money to anyone online. These people all have more than you and you'll end up going to work so they don't have to. I'm sorry Boogie, but you aren't the only one struggling. Get out there and get a job and earn your money, as well as, guys, this man is richer than most of us watching him, even after the mistakes he made. He squandered his money and wants an easy out. Do not feed into it. The world is cruel, and if you want to put your faith into something, give your money to trusted places that will actually help individuals who need it. Don't give in to pressure from financially irresponsible e-celebrities. Despite all of the mistakes and controversies Boogie found himself in over the years, there was still some in his audience who saw him as a guy who just had some bad luck. To them, he wasn't manipulative, just someone who had faced tough breaks, especially when it came to money and weight loss struggles. Well, in 2023, that persona would be shattered. In early 2023, it was announced that a documentary would be made on Boogie, capturing the events in his life from 2019 to 2021. The documentary was to be director Mike Klum's debut on YouTube, and in October 2023, the documentary titled The Dark, Sad Life of Boogie2988 was officially released on the platform. The documentary quickly opened many of Boogie's fans' eyes, providing a deeper, more honest look into the man behind the YouTube persona. The doc revealed several startling details, especially when it came to Boogie's financial habits. One of the major revelations was where a significant portion of Boogie's money had gone. According to the documentary, between 2019 and 2021, Boogie spent over $200,000 on sex workers alone. He reportedly took them on vacations, brought them lavish gifts, and treated them to expensive dinners.
I took women on vacations, and I took them out to fancy dinners, and I took them to like Disneyland and shit.
All while apparently struggling to make ends meet on a monthly basis and paying off a mortgage on the house he lives in.
I deserve to go to New York and explore Times Square with a beautiful girl, right? Like I deserve that, and I want that, and I've never had it. Man, if I had that money back, that would be half of my mortgage right now.
The documentary also featured an interview with one of the workers Boogie had hired, who confirmed the details Boogie had already admitted to. She recounted how Boogie had bought her a purse, gift cards, and dinner, all in one night, spending over $5,000.
He bought me dinner, he got me a purse that we were talking about over messages, and he got me a couple gift cards, and he spent well over $5,000 on just that night.
She further admitted to sleeping with Boogie later that evening in his hotel room.
We got back to the hotel, and I do regret to say that I slept with Boogie2988.
The interview ended with the now famous line, which left a lasting impact on viewers.
I am now married with 2 kids, and sleeping with Boogie is one of the reasons I quit sex work.
These revelations naturally hit Boogie's fans hard. However, what truly caught his audience off guard was Boogie's disturbing outlook on women, as revealed in the documentary.
It's not a revelation. I like beautiful women. I like to hang out with beautiful women. Beautiful women. We all do. I never got to do that. The women I dated were pretty, sure, but they were like Arkansas 8s, not LA 10s. With sugaring, I got to fuck some LA 10s, and I think that's cool.
He treated them almost like objects for his own amusement. But the biggest talking point to come out of the documentary was Boogie's controversial relationship with his then girlfriend Des, who was just 20 years old at the time, while Boogie was 49.
So this is Desi. Or you can call her Desiree.
Yep, Desiree.
And we've been dating now for months. Yeah.
For those who are already aware of their relationship, the documentary amplified their discomfort with the significant age gap. It gave viewers a behind-the-scenes look into their relationship, prompting some of them to comment on how concerned they were about Boogie manipulating this young girl into staying with him, with comments reading, "The way he showed her his entire medical overview and stressed how close he was to dying made my skin crawl. That is so much for a 50-year-old man to dump on a 20-year-old girl," as well as, quote, "He's not manipulating me," from a 20-year-old with clear emotional trauma depending on a narcissist in a position to abuse that trust. Plus, the revelation that Des had grown up in a broken home and had massive abandonment issues also made the situation more alarming.
Growing up without a father figure has its challenges. Like, you just don't have that support system that you would and the advice that you need, and so it's just difficult. I don't ever want to be alone. That's another thing. Maybe that's why I have stuffed animals. I don't ever want to be alone.
Especially since Boogie is seen dumping all of his trauma on her and constantly scaring her that he might die during their relationship.
I really want you to understand how actually sick I am. Like, I don't know if you actually get it, but this is my health summary. This is everything that's currently wrong with me. My risk for stroke or heart attack is astronomical. I am essentially a walking time bomb. And I'm so f***ing sorry for that. I really, really wish I had taken better care of my body.
Yeah, I know.
Now, while the doc exposed Boogie for a lot of weird behavior, he did benefit in some way after its release. He immediately got back into the YouTube grind and started posting more regularly. However, something even bigger happened in the months that followed that would allow Boogie back on the path to financial stability: the creation of the now infamous podcast Lolcow Live. The podcast, set up by Keemstar, was designed to help Boogie get back on his feet financially and increase his channel's views. And for a time, the pod was Boogie's saving grace, giving him the means to generate an income and pay off the mortgage on his house and medical bills. But that wasn't the podcast's only purpose. You see, while the podcast was designed to help Boogie, it was also designed as a means to embarrass and demean Boogie for all the controversies, lies, and manipulation he had put his fans through. Basically, it was his punishment.
Look, I gotta. What's up, Boogie? What's up, man? How you doing? Are you all ready?
You got it.
Hit me. Don't hit the sign. Don't hit the
Hit his
bike.
ass! Oh, she missed!
Oh.
What? Yeah!
I cannot wait.
It's like our chat's gonna be like calling his local like police precinct right now. There's a drunk man on the side of the highway in a yellow vest.
Yo, why does his Crocs match his whole fit?
I'm over here wondering why didn't he put on like fucking tennis shoes?
But despite all of that, Boogie did not seem to learn his lesson, because what he did next alienated almost everyone who had remained by his side despite all of his previous controversies. On the 26th of June 2024, Boogie made an announcement on Twitter endorsing a new crypto meme coin, the Fatty token, and launching a free giveaway for anyone who replied to the tweet with their Solana wallet address. The next day, Boogie posted a video onto his channel in which he was parodying Andrew Tate. Due to Boogie's efforts, the coin saw a massive surge in value almost overnight, reaching the 3 million mark at one point. But its fall was just as sudden as its rise. The coin lost 90% of its value in one day, causing huge losses for anyone who had invested in it at Boogie's request, with a tweet from CoffeeZilla reading, "Your coin's value just went up." Then Fatty coin is down 90% in the last 24 hours, and the developers vanished, causing many people to label it as a pump and dump scheme that Boogie was in on. This resulted in even more outrage, especially since most of his audience remembered how he lost all of his money in crypto just 3 years prior. With the entire internet raging at Boogie, the matter was handed over to CoffeeZilla, the leading crypto scam investigator on YouTube, who decided to interview Boogie to unearth his involvement in the scam once and for all. The interview revealed that Boogie had taken a $10,000 payment to promote the scam coin.
You're going to get paid $10,000 for something, and those people aren't expecting a greater return on their investment.
This is how meme coins work.
Their money back, but I mean, there are plenty of companies that I've worked with that are just there to get their name out.
When grilled about scamming his audience, Boogie played the victim card once again, stating that he had no idea it was a pump and dump scheme.
Well, I accept the fact that you're telling me I'm ripping people off, and I accept that that might very well be true, and I don't mean to be, and it was not my intention. My intention...
And that the entire thing was supposed to be a meme, and people weren't actually supposed to buy the coin.
That's the point. I thought it would go viral as a meme coin, as a joke, as a comedy bit. I thought that it would make people laugh. I thought people...
An investment is never a comedy. Like, people who are trying to tie comedy to investments, it's hilarious.
Make an investment. I didn't expect anybody to make a large...
When asked to return the money, Boogie revealed that he'd already spent it all on one of his medical debts because he was battling cancer.
The money's already spent. It's at Mercy Hospital right now. It's gone. I used it to pay debts. I used it to pay medical debts. So
you didn't have to tweet that tweet. You didn't have to tweet it out.
At this point, most of the internet knew that Boogie had been fighting cancer for almost 2 years. So even though his role in the scam made several of his fans angry, some of them were still willing to let him go out of pity. In fact, his cancer is one of the reasons why so many of his fans have continued to send him donations and purchase his memberships, despite his many controversies and questionable statements. So it came as quite a shock to the small few that remained when questions started being raised about Boogie's cancer diagnosis, questions that Boogie was unable to answer. It all started on the 11th of July 2024, on a star-studded episode of LOLcow Live when the YouTuber Destiny joined the call and instantly called Boogie out on faking his cancer diagnosis.
Boogie2988, you are being confronted tonight.
Go ahead.
I am 99% sure that you are faking.
No, don't move.
You are faking your cancer diagnosis, Boogie.
Okay, let's hear that.
To give you a bit of context here, Boogie had announced on his channel a year ago that he had polycythemia vera, a rare form of leukemia that causes his body to produce too many red blood cells.
Turns out I got a rare blood cancer called polycythemia vera, which basically makes your body produce too many red blood cells.
Destiny was refuting that claim, indicating that instead of having polycythemia vera, Boogie had secondary polycythemia, a condition that also resulted in the increased production of red blood cells, but was not a form of cancer.
That Boogie was told that he has polycythemia, which means he has an elevation of his red blood cells. Now, there is a cancer known as polycythemia vera, which is caused by a mutation in some part of your body that causes an elevation of 3 different levels of things you'll find. One of those is the red blood cell count. However, when Boogie was talking about the polycythemia, he mentioned a couple things that I thought were interesting. The first was that taking an exogenous hormone, TRT, testosterone, that caused an increase in him developing this condition. So taking testosterone will not cause you to develop a cancer. That doesn't, not for this particular cancer, it won't. It will cause you to develop secondary polycythemia. The second thing that he mentioned was that his doctor ordered a sleep study. That's because one of the things that can cause your body to produce more red blood cells is if you have hypoxemia, which is a lower count of, or a low amount of oxygen in your blood for an extended period of time. And the reason why he ordered that sleep study is probably because Boogie either has pulmonary obstructive something, or he has, as he mentioned, sleep apnea. And sleep apnea, which is a decrease in oxygen overnight, can lead to a decrease in oxygen in your blood, which can lead to an increase in the production of red blood cells. All of the things that Boogie described, both the things that cause this and the treatments for it, are consistent with secondary polycythemia.
Boogie obviously rejected this explanation by claiming that his doctor had told him that he had polycythemia vera.
It is secondary polycythemia.
Well, then
can you explain?
Why would he call it polycythemia vera? Why would he tell me that I have hormone markers in my blood that tells me I have polycythemia vera?
At this point, the rest of the call starts asking to see Boogie's medical papers so they can put the whole situation to bed right there.
Yes. Look, you want to keep saying you're the patient, you know what your body has.
Yes.
When I go to the doctor, they give me like this, which is like papers that will tell me.
I was going to say, Boogie can have this whole thing. Tell me a single document with polycythemia vera on it. You don't have one. I don't think the doctor ever diagnosed you with it.
But Boogie would continuously refuse to do so while getting noticeably angrier.
I'm never showing any of these motherfuckers my medical papers. Go f yourself. I said that 2 years ago, and I'm staying by it now. Destiny, Jackson Clark, Keemstar, you can see it when I fucking die. It's my fucking goddamn medical record. I've given you every goddamn phone call.
Things would take an even more chaotic turn when Destiny proceeded to put up a bounty of $5,000 to see Boogie's medical records.
If Boogie can confirm, that he has polycythemia vera, And he actually has like a doctor confirmation of the blood cancer. I'll throw $5,000 towards his medical treatment. I'll make that personal pledge right now.
But Boogie would refuse once again.
No,
Hey, you need the money.
You're not seeing my medical records for 20, not for 50. You're not seeing my medical
$5
records.
grand.
I said this.
I said this year ago.
This came at a huge shock, considering Boogie was prepared to scam his audience with a scam coin for just $10,000 a month prior, and had developed a reputation for doing almost anything for money. Meanwhile, the situation continued to escalate, with YouTubers Mr. Mitoker and Mudaha from Some Ordinary Gamers also joining the call, and putting up their own money to bring the bounty up to $25,000.
Some ordinary gamers will also put $10,000 towards it.
Make it 100. Make it $1 million.
If you have cancer, if you prove that
this is bullshit. No. You got 25K sitting on the table. There's something going on here.
Yeah, there's something is, man. I'm just exhausted. I'm done.
Still, Boogie refused, and the only reason he presented for refusing was to protect the last bastion of privacy he had left.
Just continue to LARP. I would rather you motherfuckers continue to LARP than to have
Okay, well,
the
no,
last
here's the
goddamn thing. The last thing.
You're the one
the
accused of
last
LARPing.
piece of security I have in the fucking world.
You're the one being accused of LARPing.
This made the entire incident even more suspicious, since Boogie has made the habit of broadcasting every minor detail of his personal life on the internet. For the next few days, several YouTubers, including Keemstar and Mudaha, would continue to ask Boogie to admit that he did not have polycythemia vera on Lolcow Live, and Boogie would eventually cave, finally admitting that his polycythemia vera diagnosis had never been confirmed, and losing what little fan following he had left in the process.
I already looked it up on the web portal. I already screenshotted it. It's a matter of just fucking dropping that in the group chat. Just so you know, but we're not fucking doing that. But look, right there.
You don't even have to do it in a group chat.
Right there?
Individually to one of them.
Just send it to me.
No.
Send it to me.
Fuck you.
4 days ago, you were looking at it.
Yeah, 4 days ago you said you were looking at it. So
I told you, I spent the last...
He did, and I remember he specifically said, I'm looking right at it, but I refuse to share it with you.
That's what the first part of this was.
Yeah,
that was him saying that.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I spent the last 2 years getting treated for it. I've been told by my doctor for the last 2 years.
It's fine, Boogie. Just admit it's not on the portal.
It's not on there. I told you this.
At this point, it's no secret that Boogie had burned his last bridge with his fans, and the comments on his recent videos reflect that perfectly, with most of them calling him out for all the controversy and lying he has been involved in, with comments reading, "Here's Boogie shopping after he was crying last year about not making his house payment and bills trying to get money out of people. It never ends with him. I like how he reminds viewers he's broke the whole video," as well as, "For Halloween, Boogie should dress up as the guy with polycythemia vera." Surprisingly, it does seem like Boogie's taking some responsibility for his actions by getting the word liar tattooed on his face as a punishment for lying about cancer.
I'm a 50-year-old man with a face tattoo now. Yeah. Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 50. This is how I spent my birthday, everybody. And I deserve it. I get it. I get it.
But honestly, it's too little too late. While this is likely the end of Boogie's YouTube career, he is still posting videos and trying to revive his channel, but whether or not his channel will start growing again is a mystery that only time can tell. Make sure you subscribe to stay updated on the situation.